Let's go into the question of the day. Question of the day. Do people ever fully heal, or is it a lifetime journey? Talk to me, chat. What y'all think about this one? Do people ever fully heal, or is it a lifetime journey?
Classic.
What y'all think about that, man? I would say this. If your healing is a lifetime journey, then you haven't healed, right? Like, example, let's just make it physical. Like you have a scar, or you have a wound, and the wound is open and exposed. Part of the process of healing, you put some things on it, cover it up, keep it unexposed away from, germs and stuff like that, so it doesn't get infected or anything. And then that scar, that wound, or not the scar, but the wound has to go through a process, right? And through that process, there's going to be like a thin layer of skin going over it. Then eventually you'll get a scab. And underneath that scab, there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on to strengthen up and put a full layer of skin back in that spot where the skin was, broken or abrased or whatever the case may be. And with that being said, once that scab comes off or peels off or whatever the case may be, and that skin underneath has had an opportunity to become fortified, that skin is now, or should be, if it has healed well, it should be just as strong as all the rest of your skin and the skin that was originally there. Should be. Emphasis on should be. For example, y'all see this scar on my forehead? This scar on my forehead? It's never reopened, right? Like it happened. I got it, stitched up. It healed. It never broke open again, right? This skin right here where this scar is just as strong as all the skin around it. It's healed. It's not a lifetime process, right? Like this scar isn't still working its way back and shit like that. Like it's done. You know what I mean? So I think that healing is a seasonal thing. It's a temporary thing. It's a process, but I do think it has an end to it. And if you feel like you're continually healing, then you're probably doing more coping than you are healing. Healing is a resolution. It's a result. It's a solution. It has a finality to it. It's done, right? When it's done, it's done. I am healed. If you are still working through some shit, then you either still healing or you never started healing in the first place. You just coping. Again, you do this and do that to kind of stay away from thinking about it, or you stay busy to not have to sit with your own thoughts, or not have to sit down and really deal with yourself, or you do this or you do that. So that's not healing, in my opinion. I think that healing for sure is not a lifelong journey. But let's look up the definition of healing and see what the actual book definition has to offer. Healing. The definition of healing: the process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. So the process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. So healing is a process, but it has a means to an end, which would be when you actually become sound or healthy again. That would be the means to an end. But what do y'all think about this, chat? I want to give y'all a chance to chime in on this and respond. Do you think that people ever fully heal, or is it a lifetime journey in regards to this matter? Talk to me, chat. We got a comment. Miles said, we must heal in order to move on. Absolutely. I think the lack of healing, to respond to what Miles is saying, the lack of healing would be directly associated with trauma, and trauma is associated to a stuck point. So that's a great point that you bring up, Miles, is that, trauma is associated to a stuck point, which would be the opposite of progression, right? We're stuck in this spot, and everything I do is based on the fact that I'm still stuck in this spot. So when it's time to be progressive, when it's time to move on, when it's time to behave in a manner that is conducive to moving forward, you go back and revert back to what happened and how you felt about it. And you start thinking negatively about how this could happen again and this, that, and the third. And your trauma, your fear, all of those things stop you from being a healed person and being progressive and moving forward. So I definitely think you must heal in order to move on. People who try to move forward before they actually get their mind right, get their emotions right, get their spirit right, they end up finding themselves in loops. You get in a loop. You know what I'm saying? Like this situation was similar to that situation, and similar over and over again. You get caught in these loops and these cycles, and it's because of your trauma and the way that it impacts and affects the way that you go about handling things. So you can create a vicious cycle for yourself if you don't actually, take the time to heal properly and give yourself some grace too. So yeah, but I definitely, to answer this question of the day, in short, I don't feel like healing is a lifetime journey. I definitely feel like it's more so of a process or a season, for sure, for sure. Yes, Lord. Shout out to the chat too. That question came in from one of my great subscribers.
Classic.
So shout out to the chat for that question of the day. But yeah, I won't stay on that one too long, because I feel like I got a pretty clear, answer to that one. For sure, for sure. So we're going to move on from the question of the day, and we're going to step into, if you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold. Hardened my heart.